Ceasefire talks, the latest in a series of attempts that until now have failed to end the bloodshed in Gaza. To discuss this, we have Nizar Farsakh in the U.S. Capitol. He's a lecturer of international affairs at George Washington University. Very good to have you here on the program. What, if any, indications are you seeing that these new ceasefire talks will have any kind of a different outcome than all of those previous talks?
Well, for one, Hamas is showing much more flexibility. The video of this latest video of the American hostage, the fact that he spoke in English and connecting it to Trump and Biden also is interesting, because we know that there was a meeting between Biden and Trump. They actually did discuss the hostages and the situation in Gaza, and both their teams, national security advisors and their office have been speaking to each other about this. So there has been a lot of movement. The question is, is Netanyahu willing to actually play the game?
I mean, there's of course going to be a lot of international pressure for the fighting to end, not least after today. You have 3 aid workers from the World Central Kitchen killed, 1 from Save the Children also killed on Saturday. But what's it going to take now to get the two sides to actually agree on a ceasefire?
It would take making a decision on whether they want a short-term deal and keep the long-term thing or the final ceasefire for a later date, or they hold on until a final ceasefire deal and not do anything interim. Hamas and the international community, including the U.S., is pushing for the latter, for the former, but Bibi Netanyahu seems to not want to do that, and there needs to be more pressure on him to be willing to accept some interim agreement or some short-term agreement that releases some hostages and some Palestinian prisoners.
Of course, as always, the devil will be in the details, but I mean, do you think that is sort of a way forward, agreeing to a first limited kind of a ceasefire and then negotiate that permanent ceasefire that Hamas has been asking for?
It looks like it. Even Hamas has accepted that their demand was Israeli withdrawal from the Gaza Strip. Now they're talking about a timeline for the Israeli troops to get out of the Gaza Strip, which means that they will tolerate Israeli military being in Gaza for a specific time period. So it seems Hamas is much more flexible than before, and therefore a deal is possible. So if you can get a deal within the shorter period, that would be better, especially given the very difficult humanitarian situation and the fact that there is a serious starvation in the Gaza Strip.
All right, we're going to have to see how those ceasefire talks pan out. Nizar Farsakh from George Washington University, very good to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.